A question that I get rather frequently: Michael, how many days is the minimum number that I can go to Walt Disney World and still enjoy a lot of those parks and rides? For me personally, this is a very difficult question to answer, because I could go to Walt Disney World for 2 weeks straight, just going to all the parks, the water parks, Disney Springs, and I say that's not enough time, so that's me. But when I'm thinking about the absolute minimum, the minimum amount of time that I can recommend, I would say the absolute minimum would be 4 days. And it does make sense, right? 4 days for 4 parks, but I want to go even further and talk about how I would use each day. Now, when I say 4 days, I'm actually talking about 4 full days in the park. So 1 travel day before those 4 days, 1 travel day after. And depending on your travel schedule, that could mean another half day in the parks, or maybe at Disney Springs, just relaxing and enjoying the magic. But let's assume for the purposes of this video that you arrive at Disney World late in the evening on that first travel day, and you have to leave early on the very last day, to get back home. So 4 full days at Walt Disney World. For those 4 full days, I do recommend spending the entire day in the park. I don't recommend sleeping in. If you're only there for 4 full days, you definitely want to get there at rope drop and experience all the magic. 7:53, we're being let in early and there are a lot of people here. When you go on a shorter trip to Walt Disney World, it is extremely unlikely that you'll be able to see every single attraction, but that's okay. There are some fantastic attractions that you're definitely going to want to see. I have several videos all about these great attractions. I'm going to put them right there at the I button so you can find them, but you also want to plan out what you want to do. You want to have fast passes reserved in advance. You want to know where you want to go, when you want to be there. You want to have it all planned out so you don't miss a moment. For 3 of those 4 days, I recommend spending the entire day at Magic Kingdom one day, Epcot another day, and Animal Kingdom, and that includes seeing the fireworks at night. It is really worth it to be able to stay the entire day. You can rest when you're back home. Honestly, you're going to want to see the magic when you're there. My personal favorite. For the 4th day, and they do not need to be in this order, I recommend going to Hollywood Studios for half a day. At the time of filming, it's only a half-day park. Toy Story Land and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge have not opened yet, and I have a feeling once they do open, I will change my mind on this, but I recommend spending the other half of the day at Disney Springs or one of those great Disney water parks. Here we go! Oh my gosh, that was awesome! You can also use that other half of a day to experience some of those other Disney resorts and do some resort hopping, which is a lot of fun, and maybe even do some special dining, whether it's dinner at Ohana or breakfast at Chef Mickey's in the Contemporary. It's great even on a shorter trip. Now, if you're looking at me and you're saying, Michael, I do want to have a sit-down meal, I think it would be a lot of fun for the whole family, not to worry. What I recommend in those situations where you really do want to experience it is go to an early morning breakfast. Be Our Guest as an example. You can get into the Magic Kingdom before it even opens, be able to experience Be Our Guest for breakfast, enjoy it, and then go into the park right away. So you are saving every possible moment. So that's the thought I have in my head when it comes to these shorter trips. You want to be able to utilize every second. Now, if you're planning this trip way out in advance, you will definitely have time to book those fast passes before your adventure. And if you're like me, you're probably going to shape your itinerary for the day around those fast pass times. And that is not a bad thing at all. Just be sure that when you get those fast passes, you get them for the most popular attractions at the park. That's critical. So get it for Soarin', don't get them for Living with the Land. Otherwise, you might come up to the gate and see there's a 5-minute standby line. You're going to want to change it last minute, and usually those popular fast passes are sold out. If you're a last-minute planner and maybe your trip is tomorrow when you're watching this video, you can continue to check for fast passes that become available on your phone on the My Disney experience. Just keep refreshing, looking for those fast passes, and cross your fingers that a good one shows up. Now, if you arrive at Walt Disney World earlier on that first travel day and maybe you leave later on that last travel day, you have a little extra time, but you don't want to go into the parks because of the additional cost, and you also don't want to go to the water parks because of that ticket as well. You can go to Disney Springs, experience the magic, relax, and still be able to enjoy your vacation without spending that extra money, which is extremely helpful. Now, don't forget, this is the minimum amount of time that I recommend you go to Walt Disney World. If you can only go for 2 days, that's better than 0 days at Walt Disney World, so it's not like you're not going to have a lot of fun. I'm sure you will. It's just that I recommend at least 4 full days. And if you can make even more time than that, I absolutely recommend it. 7 nights, 7 days, that's a great one. I do recommend it if you can pull it off. So what do you think? Are you like me and at the very minimum recommend 4 full days at Walt Disney World? And even saying that, you're saying to yourself, I need more time. I personally need more time than that. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments below. I sure hope you found this video helpful and informative as you're thinking about future Disney trips. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Until next time, have a magical day.